everybody, it's Robin Rosensteel at the Kentaporium, and tonight is going to be a full moon, a pink full moon actually. That's because the moon is closest to the earth. I usually do offer free full moon sound baths once a month, but since I've been doing this daily, I decided I would just incorporate it into this, a little mini one, and not do the usual 20-minute on my YouTube channel. So anyway, I just thought I would just connect with everybody and just see how everybody's doing today. I thought I'd talk a little bit about the full moon. I like to do full moon sound baths because there's different energy in the full moon if you ever pay attention versus the new moon. The new moon is all about, new growth and planting seeds and bringing something new out, and the full moon is all about lighting a flashlight on some dark aspect of yourself. We often refer to this as shadow work, and there's nothing bad about it. It's learning to appreciate the both and. Like, you can be both mean and loving, right? You can be both petty and compassionate. It's learning to embrace your shadow and your dark side. And I'm sure with so many people in self-quarantine, self-sheltering right now, I bet a lot of shadows are coming out. I'll just give you a little story about my own shadow, one of my favorites. Like, if you followed my posting from Monday, I talked about being really squirrely. I would call her Graspy Gretchen, because she was just, if you were to imagine that as the name of a person, right? She's around being very graspy, trying to grab everything. So I always like to give my shadows names because it kind of brings a little persona to them, and then you can kind of laugh at them when they come out. It's like, oh, it's just her, right? And one of my favorite ones of all time is Evil Matilda. She's my little dark side, my little shadow. She, when you cross a boundary with me, a very firm boundary with me, little Evil Matilda comes out and she will put you right back in line. And what's interesting about dealing with your own shadow, your gifts are in your shadow, actually. So now's a great time to really look at yourself and be self-compassionate and loving towards yourself as far as your shadow, and just learn to appreciate it. There's a message in there for you, and you really maybe need to see, because there might be a gift of yours, something that you need to really bring out and honor, instead of like hiding it and saying, oh, and being ashamed of it. Why don't you just embrace it and honor it? I mean, and live in the both and instead of the either or. So this is a great week to just kind of embrace that. So we're going to go with that theme, and I'm going to pick a crystal. I'm going to pick, uh-oh, I forgot to get my glasses. I'll be right back. All right, so I picked a crystal, and it's a pretty purple one. I'm going to guess that's an amethyst. And what we'll do at the end, I'll pick out I'll read what the card says at the end. But why don't we just kind of get comfortable, close our eyes, and I'd like you just to kind of reflect back on the last week or maybe the last month, kind of what, dark side has been coming out in you and how you've been maybe hiding from it or avoiding it, and maybe, seeing what the gift is in that, right? So why don't we just get comfortable and close your eyes. I'll walk you through a nice little sound bath. Just relax. And let's start with 3 deep breaths to kind of create a little space. So let's breathe in, hold, exhale. Breathe in, hold, exhale. And one more time, breathe in, hold, exhale. And I'd like you just to get comfortable and close your eyes. And I'd like you to think back on the last few days. And maybe what dark emotion has been coming up. Something you've been trying to avoid or hide from. Maybe because you've been told, that's not a good behavior, not a good emotion. Maybe you've been shamed. And just go back and remember an instance when that came out. And remember the circumstances. for more of a eagle eye from above, so you don't have the emotion so attached to it. And I'd like you just to reflect and ask, what is the gift of this shadow emotion? And we'll take 3 more breaths. So take a deep breath in, hold, exhale. 1 more deep breath in, hold, exhale. And 1 more deep breath in, hold, and exhale. Now let me read what the card says for the crystal I just randomly picked here. Because it looks purple, it looks like an amethyst if I were to guess. So let's see. And I was correct, amethyst. Unconscious habits, old patterns in need of being released. Amethyst spirit message to you is to be conscious of your habits so that you don't fall asleep of your potential for transformation and healing. You deserve so much more than you have right now, so awaken to your ability to co-create a new one. Replace one habit at a time. Well, that's really fitting for this new moon. About kind of accepting your shadow and understanding it and seeing the gift of it, right? So that's kind of a fun thing. You know, people think shadow work is so dark. It's really not that dark. It's just bringing to light some aspect of yourself, some of your unique genius and gift that's hiding there. So I'm going to pick a word. Oh, this is a nice word for us to end this little discussion today, and it's called honesty. That's a nice word. So where do you need to be honest with yourself and maybe kind of love that shadow, where you can live in the both and love your shadow just a little bit more with this new pink moon, with this full moon, sorry. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye.